and welcome.
It's the Graveyard Girls, a true crime and mysteries podcast.
It is. Well done.
Yeah.
We started it.
We have started it. Are we going to talk about anything before we begin, or are we just jumping straight in? You got anything to tell me?
I have lots of things to tell you, Natasha.
That we can say on air?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah, same.
Everyone's crap.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're thinking of going to a jobs fair, don't. It's a waste of fucking time. Well, actually, do it if you're just about to leave school and you don't have any disabilities, you'll be fine. But if you're disabled and looking for work, don't bother going there because they're not helpful.
Oh, when I was at work the other day, this woman came up to me and she was like, "Are you alright?" And I didn't really respond. And she was like, "It's okay. I'm on 2 kinds of medication for that." And I'm just like,
oh.
And she was like, "You're a bit young for that." And I said nothing. And I clearly didn't look very happy.
Someone you were working with, or like just a random customer?
Oh, no, someone we work with.
Okay, that's fine. I was going to say it'd be more embarrassing if it was a customer. I'd be like...
And she was like, "You know what I do? I go and take the dogs for a walk and just like, I don't let it get to me." And I'm just like, okay. It's like, how the fuck does she like know what's going on with me?
She's psychic. Natasha.
She's psychic. It's like, I'd never said a word.
Yeah, but
like no one else points out anything. I'm just like, yeah. And then she just like looks at me and just like, "Are you okay?"
But is it like by the time I'd finished at work and I was just like crying over every little thing, so like it almost became normal for me to be like roaring my eyes out because something wouldn't go on the shelf properly. And then everyone's like, "Oh, it's just Amelia being Amelia." Like, you know, by this point, like I'd just given up on everything. I was just like every little thing. I mean, one time I stubbed my toe on the door and that was a disaster. Like the major things, you know, like when major disaster has happened, I was like really cool and calm and collected about it. I was like, I can deal with this situation. And then like the most minor inconvenience. Yeah. It was like literally crying. One time I couldn't, you know, the little perforated bits in the box, it wouldn't open. Can't do it. I was like, I can't get it. I was literally about roaring my eyes out, and I was like, I was like, go on the fucking shelf.
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh, okay, it's very obvious that I am a sad fuck. So I was just like, okay.
There you go.
That's my weekend.
You should have just said like, "I really miss Amelia," and she'd be like, "Who's Amelia?" And they'd be like, she I don't think she doesn't exist anymore, but I've not died. I don't think I have anyway. I feel like I've died. But yeah, you could be like, "Oh, she was here a long, long time ago."
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. 10 months ago.
I know. Don't talk to anyone at work anymore.
No, I just don't talk to anyone apart from you.
Same.
There we go. So far apart. I just need to get another job. I'd like to do another job with you. Yeah. So I could take you with me.
I know, because like my phone's useless now. I don't talk to anyone.
Yeah. I don't see how I'm gonna like work with, like I can't imagine having another group of like workmates, like what we all used to have and like the nonsense we used to get up to, and I was like, does that even exist anymore? Like I can't imagine going into another workplace and having another group of people like we had. I just need to take you with me. So I've got to go for a job interview and be like, yeah, you can give me a job.
Here's my person.
Yeah. Can you give Natasha one as well?
No, it's fine because we've got lots of lovely listeners right now who are just listening to us complain about how shit life is.
To be fair, they've probably got a shitty job too, and they're like, yeah, kind of agreeing with us.
It's all relatable, yes. This wasn't supposed to be as depressive as it was.
Yeah, no.
I think it's kind of funny.
Both, I think we're both just very tired this week. Yeah. I've done a lot, but also not a lot at the same time.
I just feel very rushed a lot, and I don't like it. I feel kind of sick constantly.
Yeah, I've had a few stressful things to do this week.
Yeah.
And it's like, even though it's not really many things, it's meant everything else. It's like, I can't do anymore. I've done one stressful thing for the week. I can't take on anymore.
But if you have listened long enough to get through this, thank you. And thank you for coming back every week.
Yeah, please come back. I'm desperate.
Putting it up with us. Because no one else does. Right. Shall we get into
I'll let you do your case now, Natasha. You might be regretting asking me if there's anything we wanted to talk about first.
That's fine.
Okay.
So, do you believe in reincarnation?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
I kind of don't, in the sense of like, I don't really have happens. But then like when we looked back at those cases of ones where there was lots of Amelias murdering children. There's a lot of coincidences. So I think, could I have been reincarnated?
You put a little bit of fear in me then. I was like, oh shit, have we already done this case? Never mind, it's fine.
No, it's fine. Yeah. So like I do and I don't. Like I don't think there's anyone enough. Like I think it's just the way things fall sometimes. Like it's more coincidence. But there is some things that are like freakishly similar. And I'm like, But then do you go looking for patterns? I think
Maybe.
that's part of it. Because I've just been searching for more Amelias that murder children. Just to prove the fact that I might murder a child one day. I don't really see how it helps me.
I was going to say, because you're kind of like admitting to a crime you've not committed. Well, that I don't think you've committed yet.
I'll go with, so it doesn't sound quite so bad. I'm trying to learn about it so I can prevent myself from doing it.
Okay.
That's what I'll go with.
Okay.
But the reality is I'll probably just end up bludgeoning a child because I don't really like them.
I think you're pretty good with children, though.
That's the annoying thing. I seem to attract children. That sounds wrong. Don't put it in the sentence like that. I don't like children.
You're good with
I can't
kids.
stand children.
Yeah.
But I seem to be a magnet for them. Like, whenever I go anywhere, like, people's children come running up to me and are really happy to see me. And I'm like, I don't like you. Why are you here? Like, even, with the horses, they're like, oh, I really enjoy myself. I want to spend more time with you. And part of me's like, no, it's just the horses.
Do you think it's because, like, on some weird level, kids can, like, kind of see what people are like truly? And, like, even though you don't look autistic... No, maybe. But, like, no, you don't look autistic, but to the kids, maybe you do. So maybe you're more approachable.
Maybe.
See what I mean?
Maybe
like
that's what it is.
Like, they see ghosts, they can see autism. Whereas other people can't.
Yeah, all the other adults can't.
No. Because you don't look autistic.
Yeah, I don't look autistic. I've been told multiple
times.
For out of context, I've had a rant at Natasha before. We've started recording this morning because I went to a jobs fair and I was told by multiple people that they were very surprised because I don't look autistic.
That's not a thing. You cannot look autistic.
And that they wouldn't have known if I hadn't have said anything. But also they couldn't help me in the workplace because they didn't actually know what I needed. And then they all went clown me and very awkward because they clearly had no idea what I was talking about.
But they are very inclusive of everyone.
Yeah. So all I learnt from that is they can't help me. Yeah. And they have, rather than just admitting, oh, I'm not too sure, they'll just keep rabbiting some bullshit, which pisses me off even more. And then, yeah, apparently them telling me that I don't look autistic is supposed to help me somehow. I don't really see how. It probably explains why I wasn't diagnosed till I was 26, because I don't look autistic enough. I'm not entirely sure. I still haven't worked out how you're supposed to look autistic.
You're not. So people are just using that as an excuse. You can't see it, so therefore it's not there.
Okay.
They're just pushing it under the carpet like
But I'm just wondering,
else.
is there like a certain bit like I could start doing to make me look more autistic?
I don't think so.
Okay. I didn't know if I had to do like a funny walk or something. Like,
Well,
would it make it more obvious?
Well, I did tell you to go in with a peg leg.
Well, yeah, and that time I asked that person if they wanted me to wriggle on the floor like a caterpillar and have the word I'm disabled written on my head when... I've had this comment multiple times about people saying, oh, I didn't know because you don't look. Like, the one time, you don't look like you've got any problems. I was like, thanks.
Well, you need to look like you have a problem. Like that woman approached me at work.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, you've got the weight on the world on your shoulders.
Yeah, so I've got to like wriggle on the floor like a caterpillar or just shout, I'm disabled.
Yeah.
So that they know.
Yeah.
I'll write on my forehead or like get a badge or something.
Yeah.
There we go. Because that'll save all the awkwardness. They just won't approach you then.
No, they
because
won't.
they're like, oh, we know there's something wrong with that one. We just won't go near it. There we go.
Right.
Okay, sorry, I will...
So reincarnation.
Yeah, right, reincarnation.
So
Don't reincarnate any knobheads.
I may have a story to convince you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll work on it. A lot of people have been trying to convince me of a lot of things this week, and I'll be honest, it's a little bit against you, Natasha.
It's reincarnation. I am against it.
Okay.
I just, yeah. So in Hexham, England,
Okay.
Florence and John Pollock were a large family.
Oh.
They had 4 sons, and eventually Florence gave birth to 2 daughters as well. Joanna was born in 1946, and Jacqueline was born in 1951.
Okay.
So very large family.
Yeah. Does that mean the daughter's 5 years apart? Yeah, 46 to 51, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on May 5th, 1957, the girls were heading to church with their 9-year-old friend Anthony.
Mm.
As they were walking along the pavement, a car veered off the road and smashed into them.
Okay, so I'm guessing they're going to be deaded.
They are deaded, yes.
Okay.
The driver, Marjorie Wynne, she was intoxicated when she was behind the wheel.
Oh, naughty Marjorie.
She had overdosed on aspirin and phenobarbital after losing custody of her own children.
Oh, so she's a bit suicidal.
Suicidal.
Okay, I don't feel quite so, like she's so bad now. I'm not saying that gives you reason to go around killing other people, but,
No,
she was in a difficult spot.
Was that her intention? So she intended to take her own life. There's also a suggestion she deliberately ploughed into the children as she had lost her own.
Oh, like a symbolic sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
But that is not...
Take it how you want to take it.
Yeah, it's not confirmed. The girls died at the scene, and Anthony died on the way home, on the way to the hospital.
Oh.
Joanna was 11 and Jacqueline was only 6 when they died.
Okay.
Florence became pregnant after their deaths, and while there was no history of twins in either family of John or Florence, Florence's doctor had only detected one heartbeat when he examined. John was adamant she was pregnant with twin girls.
Okay. Why was he adamant? What, just she was big?
He was just so adamant.
Okay.
Because he was just... I will tell you why.
I already have questions about this because I think I know where it's going.
John rejected John's beliefs as she was only pregnant with one baby, and the doctor proved that.
Okay.
However, on October 4th, 1958, she did indeed give birth to twin daughters. They named them Gillian and Jennifer.
Okay.
What is your question?
If it's supposed to be reincarnation, I'm guessing it's going to be the twin girls that are obviously reincarnated. The boy also died, granted not at the scene. Why didn't she have triplets? And like 2 girls and a boy.
Yeah, so maybe that's what I thought, but then it's like, is it because they're not in their family? Maybe he's reincarnated somewhere else.
Oh, okay. What, his mum had a baby boy at the same time?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I don't know how it works. Sometimes it's convenience, isn't it?
Okay.
So John claimed that Joanna and Jacqueline had been killed as a punishment from God because John had dared to ask for proof of reincarnation.
Oh, okay. Right.
He read a book about it as a child and been fascinated by the concept ever since, even going as far to question his Catholic belief.
So that would be a bit more plausible if he asked on the morning that they were killed.
Yeah, I don't know when he asked.
Right, okay.
So now he started to claim that these twin girls were his daughters, reincarnated. When she was born, Jennifer had a Jennifer had a birthmark on her hip. Jacqueline had a very similar birthmark in the exact same place.
Right, okay.
Which is not that weird, but if
you're really looking into it and pulling strings.
When the twins were about 3 years old, their parents brought out the toys that belonged to their deceased daughters from the attic.
Right.
Gillian took Joanna's old toys, while Jennifer picked out Jacqueline's.
Oh, okay.
They both said that the dolls had been gifted from Santa Claus.
Which isn't that far-fetched. They were gifted to Santa Claus to the original kids.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they're thinking.
Right,
they're like, how do they know this? Because only Joanna and Jacqueline were gifted these from Santa Claus.
Yeah, but every kid's got gifted toys.
But if these are from the attic, they saw them from the attic. Why are they saying that these are from Santa?
Because maybe in the family they only got presents at Christmas time.
But these are babies. They're 3 years old.
I don't know.
Yeah. There's lots of reaching here. But they both said that the dolls had been gifted from Santa Claus. When Gillian saw a toy clothes ringer that had been a Santa Claus present to Joanna, she said, "There's my toy ringer," adding that Santa had bought it. Which is a weird gift for a child.
Yeah.
I get it's the 50s, but it's okay. But she was so adamant that, like, she recognised this gift.
Yeah. But maybe she's even for, like... Maybe she'd asked for one.
No.
Oh, okay. Like, maybe the parents forgot she'd asked for one. She's like, oh, there's the thingy I
There's
wanted.
my ringer. Why? Yeah, it's just weird. I
don't see how it's proof of reincarnation.
I will. There's more stuff going on. Just after the twins were born, the family had moved to Whitley Bay, which was about 30 miles away. A short while later, they moved back to Hexham. The twins were able to identify various places.
Right.
This included Joanna and Jacqueline's favourite park, as well as Hexham Abbey. Again, how do they recognise these places if they've not been there?
Could there have been photographs?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, maybe someone could have told them about a story. Like, they could have overheard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think most of this is, like, he's so
also,
adamant.
If they're only that young, like, that's quite a sophisticated conversation. You sure the parents aren't just bullshitting?
This is one of the theories I get into later. John later recounted that as he was walking with the twins up the hill towards St. Mary's Church, one turned to the other and said, "The school is up." here where we used to go, and the playground is round the back. At the time, not only would they have been too small to see the school, there was obviously lots of things blocking their view of the thing. So he's like, well, how do they know that their school's
right?
Okay. They're the older children's schools there, because they've not been there yet.
Right. Okay.
Because they're only tiny. For John, all the evidence of reincarnation was there. But for Florence, it was not.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Florence.
She was a committed Catholic and refused to believe in reincarnation.
However, I didn't realise that's a bit of Catholicism.
What?
Do you realise that was a thing, that they didn't believe in reincarnation?
No, it's a different religion. You don't.
I didn't realise that was like a thing of it. Like, I didn't realise they didn't believe in it.
Yeah, no. They don't.
Oh, there you go. Let's me know.
I'm telling you all these kind of facts today.
I know, you've taught me loads of new stuff.
I'm
going to end up retaining lots of information that I don't need. I'm going to forget the important stuff.
Yeah. So yes, she refused to believe in the reincarnation. However, one day she found the girls playing a game. She discovered Jennifer lying on the floor, her head being cradled in Gillian's lap. Florence overheard Gillian telling Jennifer, "The blood's coming out of your eyes. That's where the car hit you." Imagine that. I know kids are weird.
It's scary.
Kids are weird.
I'm sure at some point, like, the parents or someone would have had a conversation. Like, you think at the time, even if it was like whispering neighbours, like, they're their daughters of you, like, they've come back. Do you remember when they were here before? Their daughters got run over and hit by a car. All the little kids got to do is pick that up. Like, you think, like, when we used to go out with Leanne and she had her kids with her, the amount of things they used to pick up so quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think
they're reincarnated.
I don't.
Also, getting hit in the eyes by a car.
I think it's more even hitting the head and the blood's coming out your eyes.
But she's coming like, that's where you got hit. You got hit in the face.
I mean, to be fair, when I was a child.
Yes, I know the stories. This is what immediately, I was just like, Amelia.
Well, I did a few things.
Do you want to say it on air? Do you want to be arrested?
I didn't kill my sister. It's fine.
Don't say you killed her.
But also, there was weird things like in the car. My dad said I used to, you know, the little Tykes cars. We used to have one of them in the garden. And he said when I was about 2 or 3, I used to go around the garden, like driving the car, and then go rah, 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 and go a bit further. And then Mum was like, I don't get what she's doing. Dad goes, oh, she's taking after you when you get road rage. And that's legitimately what I'm doing. So like kids pick things up. Yes. So all the parents have got anything. Like my mum didn't see it, but I was pretending to have road rage with someone from like the age of 2, and it was like imitating it in the garden. This is probably why I shouldn't ever learn to drive, because I've already like picked up the road rage bit.
Oh, that's easy to have.
And I can just point out my sister's. Also, I'd like to point out my sister is fine. I haven't actually killed her. I might have nearly done as a child.
I remember as a kid, my friend like nearly ripped her ear off with a Barbie doll. That was traumatic.
Oh, see, my sister's near his parents involved the box of Barbie dolls. Maybe it's Barbie dolls. Yeah,
I think
it wasn't me.
Not forced into the box of Barbies, no.
In my defence, I told her not to rock on the bed. Not my fault she didn't listen.
There you go.
And then fell backwards and cracked her head open, and then I definitely didn't put my hand over her mouth to tell her to be quiet.
Okay, I was just going to leave it at, like, I have a dead husband.
You funny. Well, we'll add the context to the rest of the story. My mum had sent us upstairs to be quiet because we'd been naughty all morning. She said if she heard another noise out of us, we weren't going horse riding. And that, for me, was like a death sentence. So me and my sister were playing, and we're on a top bunk, and she was sitting on the edge. And I told her, you can't sit on the edge, because if you do that and go backwards, like, you'll fall off. And she goes, I can. And she did it and was rocking backwards and forwards, and obviously doing not what she was supposed to be doing. Fell backwards, landed head first into a box of Barbie dolls, which cracked her head open. She obviously started screaming, to which I quickly climbed down the ladders and put my hands over her mouth, was trying to smother her, because I was more concerned about the fact that if she made too much noise, I wasn't allowed to go horse riding the next day. So my immediate concern wasn't the fact she'd cracked her head open, it was the fact I wasn't going to be able to go riding the next day. And obviously my mum reappeared very angry as to why I was like, it looked like I was smothering my sister in a upside down in a box of Barbie dolls with her head split open. I wasn't trying to kill her. I was just trying to get her to be quiet.
So you could go horse riding?
Yeah. But she was the reason I wasn't going to be able to go. I'd already told her she can't swing on the end of the bed. She was the one that was so adamant that she could do it. And then she was going to get me... I was going to have to miss my riding lesson because she was just doing her own thing. We can't have that. So she had to be silenced, Natasha.
She had to be silenced, yes. Anyway, it says, so you're not in more trouble. According to John, when the twins discussed the accidents between themselves, they often spoke in the present tense.
Right, okay.
Almost as if they were reliving it.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're just freaky children. Like, children are freaky.
Children are freaky. It's like if my kids had like an imaginary friend, I just think it's a ghost.
Oh, split personality.
Oh God.
Can you get you can have schizophrenia as a child. It doesn't develop when you're going into adulthood, does it?
I don't know.
I think you can have it as a child.
There's some psychotic children that I've seen. So in another incident, Gillian recounted exactly how Jacqueline had gotten her scar by pointing at Jennifer's birthmark and saying that's the mark Jennifer got when she fell on a bucket.
Oh.
This is where I'm very confused because...
So this is not when she died?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if the birthmark that Jennifer has, who is the younger child, is a scar that Jacqueline got when she fell on a bucket, but it's worded that Jennifer fell on a bucket, but I think it's misworded and Jacqueline fell on the bucket. Right. Jennifer has the same scar that she was born with. That's the birthmark from earlier. There's a bit of confusion there. Yeah. It's very confusing. Trying to research this.
I'm thinking it's just coincidences. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
Although that kind of poo-poos all the research you've just had to do, but okay.
There's so many different versions. So I was like, do they mean Jacqueline or do they mean Jennifer? Do they mean this
also,
one?
It doesn't help that they've all got the same first letter.
Gillian is with a G. I don't know if it's Gillian or Gillian.
All right, okay.
Gillian sounds stupid, so Gillian.
It makes me think of Gideon.
I didn't mean that it sounds stupid, Gideon. Gideon does not sound stupid. Gillian, as in
I think
Gillian.
You're digging yourself a bigger hole, Natasha. Which I've just thrown you in.
Gideon sounds fine. Gillian does not sound fine. Anyway, so I'm sorry, Gideon.
Sorry.
The twins apparently like the same foods, clothing, and songs as their sisters.
Did they have much choice though in that day? Because I feel like it was all the same shit.
Probably.
Okay.
They could recognise people such as friends and neighbours who they hadn't met before. Gillian was born 10 minutes before Jennifer and looked after Jennifer in just the same way that the oldest sibling, Joanna, looked after Jacqueline.
Yeah, but that's natural.
Yes. As the twins grew up, they seemed to forget their so-called past lives and began to have their own personalities not connected to their sisters.
Yeah.
So were Gillian and Jennifer the reincarnation of their sisters, Joanna and Jacqueline? Or were some of the stories made up for attention? Or were they just children and their dad was so adamant in reincarnation?
Yes. On them. Like, it's easy to manipulate children that way. Like, he could suggest, like, he maybe wants to sell the story. So he's planting things for them to pick up. So they might genuinely come out with those things. But it's because it's weirdly been planted in their head in the first place. I don't believe in the whole reincarnation. You know, if they're, like, maybe a little bit more if they also looked completely identical. But even then, you could argue it's the same genetics.
There was a little bit of similarity. One was, like, slightly bulkier. One was slightly taller and lankier. The one that was supposed to be that way was that way reincarnated. The other one was shorter and chunkier, like the other one.
But then could you just argue that's genetics because they all had the same parents?
They were like researched. A doctor looked into them. Like a lot of people researched and like looked into them as they were growing up, as like proof of reincarnation. Yeah, but then they just used
them as guinea pigs. So like then also that's another reason to make them believe that they are the reincarnation because.
And as they grow up, they seem to have like no recollection of their earlier childhood with their stories or the...
But then, like, kids do come out with really weird things. My sister used to come out with weird things all the time. You think, where did you get that from?
So I have heard stories of, like, reincarnation of, like, this boy was, like, he's afraid of fire because that's how he died in the fire. And his mum's like,
like, in a weird way, kind of get that sometimes when people, like, maybe it is something that's happened in your past life. But I don't say it's a direct, like, reincarnation. It's just, like, it's something you've experienced in a past life. And so, like, you have a fear of it. Like, maybe you injured yourself that way, I don't know, in a past life or something. So, I don't know. It's just an inherent fear. But then again, is that fear that's instilled in us? If you want to believe... was it the dragon case that I did where they looked back at early people, like, really, really early people, like, before Neanderthal, and they were saying, like, their natural instincts was obviously things, you know, like fire and stuff like that. So is it just so inbuilt into us?
So, yeah, like we all have a natural instinct to be afraid of the dark because we're not aware of what's in the dark if we can't see it.
Yeah. So is it just our senses? Right. And we just
Maybe.
frequently think about it too much now. So we're like, woo, we've been reincarnated.
Some people do say that birthmarks are a wound you died from in your previous life.
I got pierced in the shoulder. I don't know where it's gone now. I can't see it. It's at the back. I had a little weird speckly one.
A birthmark.
Yeah.
Okay, you just started like...
Sorry.
I was like, what, a ghost just poked you at the shoulder?
No,
so some people
I've died that way. I suppose though, if it entered there and on my shoulder, it could have pierced my heart.
Yeah.
That's how I died.
I don't think I have any birthmarks.
So you didn't die?
No,
Been around forever.
I've been around
It proves
forever.
my theory of you being around for all these years. You haven't died yet.
And you can never get rid of me.
You just keep cropping back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I do and I don't believe
I
in
like it when it's separate. He's so convinced that his child
him.
is
I think
reborn.
they just pushed it onto them to make it seem real.
Yeah.
Like if they like the reincarnation ones, if they were completely unrelated and they just because like there's been some cases where like they've been born a minute after the other ones died and like they're not related but they look identical and then they come out things like that's a bit more like that's not a coincidence. Like you could be a reincarnation of someone then. Yeah. It's like the weird thing with like your doppelgangers.
That's scary. I have seen a doppelganger of my friend.
Because there's like some people where there's lots.
Yeah.
But then like I've never seen anyone that looks remotely like me.
No.
So I'm like, where's mine?
It's like Gideon.
Like I kind of want to find one. Like maybe there is a website out there somewhere where you can upload your photo and find your doppelganger.
Maybe. Gideon came up to me once and he was like, this person looks like you, and it was on a magazine. And I could not see the resemblance at all.
But to be fair, we say that, but everyone like with me and my sister, they were like, oh yeah, we get really mixed. People go, oh my god, I had no idea you're related because she's got brown short hair and brown eyes and I'm long blonde hair and blue eyes. But then there's other people, and I don't know if it's more because Clara seems a bit more mature than me because I just piss about all the time. But everyone thinks we're twins. I get that a lot. And I don't see how it's a thing.
I don't see it.
But I then also as well get the thing where everyone thinks Clara's the older sister and I'm the younger one. I get that a lot.
Sometimes people say that me and my sister do look similar. It's our eye shape. We don't, but anything else, nothing.
I don't think you do look alike. Maybe a bit more younger because you're naturally blonde, aren't you?
Yeah.
So maybe if you looked at it that way, then yeah, maybe you would look a bit more alike.
Even then, we look different.
Yeah, I can't see it. But I don't really see very often, like, right next to each other. Maybe if I look really stared at you both, which is creepy. Maybe if I did that, then maybe I'd see a resemblance. But yeah, I don't get it with me and my sister. I don't think we look anything alike.
You look completely different.
To be fair, I'm like the only blonde one in my family, so I might have been adopted.
Oh.
Or swapped at birth.
If you were adopted, your mum would have given you back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's on her, not you.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Because everyone in my family's got... Well, my dad's got grey eyes, not brown eyes, but the others have all got dark eyes and dark hair. So.
But yeah, I kind of do believe in reincarnation. I don't know. I believe people have souls, so therefore whatever can come from that comes from that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one. That one I definitely don't believe that.
He was just...
Instance, yeah.
These are my dead children, come back.
Yeah, but also, why would you want them to be them? I don't get it.
I understand from a grief point, yes, you are going to want your children back.
Yeah, but should you just be relieved that you've had two doors again?
Two
so,
more.
Yeah.
You've got to love
Why
these.
do they have to be like the other ones?
Yeah, because then it's just like, then your children have to grow up realising that you don't love them, you love...
The originals.
Yeah. Which is heartbreaking.
But yeah, what about little Anthony? Why didn't he come back?
Somewhere else. Or like a person...
Is he stuck?
Oh no, maybe he got reincarnated in between those two, so any like weird thing that doesn't fit in with their theory, it's like that bit's Anthony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. What would have been better is if, like I said, the mum had had triplets, or if then like she'd gone on to have another boy.
Technically, he didn't die at the exact same time as the girls. He died on the way to the hospital.
Yeah, so if they then went on to have a son and he started recounting things about the...
So maybe he got like thrown into the cosmos a bit further away because he wasn't killed at the exact same time.
Because Marjorie didn't die at the scene, did she?
She's still alive.
Oh, she's still alive.
Well, not now. She was alive. She survived. I think she ended up going into a psych ward.
Yeah, she does sound a little bit deranged, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Again, grief. if she's lost her children.
I think there's just too many coincidences in that one. Definitely not a
Kids are weird. Kids are going to make up stories. Like
they do. They come out with proper freaky things.
They're going to hear the stories of their children, their sisters from someone else, and then they're going to recreate it, aren't they?
But kids can be really sinister at the same time, but you can kind of laugh it off because they're kids and they're funny, and then it's not till you really think about it, you think, no, that was weird.
Yeah.
But most of the time I don't think we really think too much. We're like, oh, they're just kids.
Just kids.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that was a reincarnation. Maybe you'll have to convince me some more. I've not been convinced today.
I used to listen to a podcast, I can't remember what it was, where it was like this person would read out stories of different reincarnation, because like this one is too coincidental, where it's like the man or the little boy who died in a fire, and he's just like, I died that way. Or there was one, a drowning or something, I can't remember. There's so many. I'll have to find it again, get some stories for you.
And we need to find a doppelgangers. So if there's anyone out there listening to this and you think you look like us, send us a photo.
Well, doppelgangers are supposed to be evil, so you should not meet your doppelganger. So which one is the evil one? Wait, am I the
doppelganger?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think I might be.
I don't know. Your face is very serious.
I'm not sure because if I'm like the nice one, how evil's the evil one of me?
Evil.
Mine's actually okay. We need to go through like mug shots because I think that's what we might find my doppelganger. If not, I am the doppelganger. Also, would your doppelganger know my doppelganger?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
It would be weird if they did, though.
Oh.
Right, okay, let's go through every single podcast ever made.
Podcast?
Yeah.
Are they going to be on a podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
And see if there's another one. If anyone's got lots of time on their hands.
No one has that amount of time.
But is there still that thing, in Google where you can put your photo in and like it brings up similar searches?
Yeah.
Should we put as not just the Graveyard Girls logo, but like photos of us and see if anyone pops up? Is that how it works?
Mm-hmm.
We find a doppelganger. Mine will probably come back with a mugshot from somewhere.
I'm like, oh, you did kill a kid. We were right all along. Was that in this episode?
Yeah, it was in this episode, but also I did an episode on it in the one. What was it? Amelia's a murderer.
Yes.
I'll be honest. I really wouldn't be that surprised if it ended up being a murderer. That would be one of those if there was a documentary made about me, and we're going, yeah, we saw that.
To be fair, that would be about someone else. We all know.
Yeah, we had one of those at work, but still, I do feel like I'm not too far away from murdering. Like, I don't feel like it's going to be a massive surprise if I did end up murdering someone. I don't think it's going to be a shock. Like, if you murdered someone, especially if it was really brutal, everyone would be like, bloody hell, what happened to her? Actually, no, to be fair, that wouldn't seem too far-fetched because they'd be like, they spent too much time with Amelia.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yeah, she
Gary
pushed her
did
to
say
it.
that. Yeah, Gary did say that.
Did he?
Yeah.
I've pushed you over the edge.
Can't remember what for. But I'm sure he did. I don't know. Don't speak.
Probably like you'll end up deranged, so.
Probably.
Yeah. That's it. You're weeping on the shop floor now, like I was.
I think it's because I said we joined a cult, and he was just like, "What?"
Yeah. Oh, the breakfast cult.
I had to explain what happened.
That was weird.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll let people think about that.
Tangent. But yeah, if anyone finds a doppelganger, feel free to send them through. I am slightly worried now, though, that if your doppelganger is supposed to be more evil, that I might actually be the doppelganger.
I think that's just like the folklore version. Okay. I think like real life, it's probably fine.
This is going to massively come back, and I don't know, I've like massacred a whole group of people or something.
Okay. I'll maybe find some time to look for that.
Yeah, okay.
But on that note.
In the meantime.
Keep creeping.
We'll keep digging.